Hello and welcome to Kana's Corner. I've been talking about it all day, but it seems that you just need a reminder. Right now with me at the moment, I have PikminLink with me. You want to say hi to all the radio people out there?
Hello.
Would you like to explain a little bit what you do in sort of the anime world?
In the anime world, not much. In the gaming world, more likely. I'm a Link cosplayer, which is basically what I'm mostly known for my huge fandom of the Legend of Zelda series. And I cosplay Link, preferably every version available of him. Um, and basically that's where my fandom is. And since I'm a huge, video game freak too, I like to do all the cosplays from the other gaming stuff too. I'm not much into anime, sadly, because I don't know. I guess I don't really have the much time to sit down and watch anime. But so, like, yeah, it's rare for me to cosplay from anime.
No, I understand. I know you have done a few though, like Cece, for example.
hmm That was actually the last anime series I've seen, and that was what, almost 2 years ago. But I absolutely just love the series. I love how in depth it is with the storyline. I mean, a lot of people don't really go into the storyline, but it's just so in it that like every time I watch it, me and my friend were just like constantly discussing the series after we watched the episode. We're like, oh man, what about this part? And like we're totally bringing out pointers. I love Code Geass, to be honest. As much as popular it is, I still love the series. It's an amazing story.
Well, it seems your affections definitely lie with The Legend of Zelda, and I honestly, you're gonna have to educate me because I don't know which version you haven't done.
Which version I haven't done? I haven't done the Phantom Hourglass. Well, no, I take that back. Uh, I haven't done it as in posting it online. I haven't done it. I have the Phantom Hourglass made almost a year ago, and the costume is basically the same as the Wind Waker outfit, but I don't have the weapons yet. Since I started school, that's really pushed me back a whole lot because I don't live at home during my school time. I'm out in San Francisco at my school. So anything cosplay related can only be done on the weekends, if that. Um, but I think Phantom Hourglass was one of them that I haven't done. And, hmm, I think so, yeah.
Okay. What
There's
are
so many. I'm trying to put them all through my head right now. Which one was it? I'm looking around my room because I have like Zelda stuff everywhere. So I'm
mhm.
trying to see this link.
Well, what
Well,
original?
I haven't done like his transformation forms yet, like the Deku's Link and the Goron Link,
Oh
but
yeah, that's true.
I didn't say I'm not gonna do those.
I can tell because you have such a love for this series. How did you originally get into the series?
I was really young. I was born before the Nintendo system came out, so that puts an advantage to me, because then I'm like, yes, I've been around before. But I've just loved it. I really love medieval times, castles, elves. It's just something I really loved. I always wished to live in that world. I've always wished to be like I'm an elf, secretly in this timeline or something. Like it's just a huge thing for me. And then when I played Zelda, it's just I really, really liked it. And I guess because Zelda, when it first came out, video games like there wasn't much of it.
Yeah.
So it's like when you first played Zelda, it was like, wow, amazing. And then like, gosh, I remember the time span between like when Ocarina of Time first came out, it was like a huge time span of no Zelda games. And when that first came out, I was like, oh my god, finally, it was huge freak out. But I just really love the series. I really love the characters. I really love the place it takes place in. And it's just a place I've always grown up in, basically. I used to dress up as Link when I was really little, and I was like, yeah, I'm Link.
Was that just like store-bought costumes, or your mom or your
No,
dad helped you?
that was like a t-shirt and a belt. Yeah, that's it.
How did you start actually sewing and deciding to cosplay a character like that?
Uh, Honestly, I didn't know about cosplay when I first started out. I didn't know it existed or anything like that. My mom had a sewing machine, and I guess I've always wanted to. figure out to make it for myself sort of thing. And then Halloween came around one time. Oh man, so I was always banned from ever going trick-or-treating, right? I didn't get to go trick-or-treating until I was like
Oh,
11 or 12. Because I guess in my country, it's kind of seemed like it's not a very respected thing, I guess, because it's kind of like they view it kind of as in making fun of the dead sort of thing. Um, and so when my dad first heard about Halloween, he's like, no, and I guess, in Hungary, we don't really do Halloween much, I suppose, because I haven't really heard about it. And most of them there don't even know what Halloween is. But I wanted to get around, and then, and when I was finally able to make something, I was just, sat down. My mom taught me the basics with the sewing machine, like how to set it up and all that. And then I just basically just learned to do it myself. That's how I learn everything. I go into it. Like I take things apart, I study them, I learn them, and that's just what I do.
that's really admirable, actually. Did you ever think you'd get this sort of recognition from just, basically paying a homage to a character you loved?
Honestly, no. I don't think anyone can really know that, when starting out. But see, when I really started out, Zelda wasn't that big of a thing. Like when I started making costumes, there weren't a lot of Link cosplayers. I mean, they were, but there weren't a lot of them. And I really just wanted to make it really good. See, I like when I finished my Link costume, I didn't even know about cosplay, so I didn't really see any other costumes of Link and anything like that. So I really wanted to just do Link for Halloween, because that was really the only time to wear a costume that I knew about. And then I found out about cons, but that comes later on. uh, but I just really, really liked the character, and I knew what he looked like. I'm like, well, his boots wrinkle at the ankles, his boots are this length. It's just, I don't know, I guess just the whole art appreciation and me also being, a perfectionist, trying to be a perfectionist in art and all that, I was able to, know what to do kind of thing and how to make it as real as I could. But oh man, even then, that honestly, my Link costume back then sucked so bad. It was just like not really amazing.
I
I
mean,
tried to use what I could,
and yet you
but
still get a lot of recognition for it today, though.
well, I mean, I guess so. It's just kind of weird, but I guess that goes back to the point where there wasn't a lot of links at that time, you know, and so it's like, but even though I did that, I still knew it wasn't good enough. And, my sewing wasn't good enough, of course. It was not that great. I didn't have a serger for at least a few years, cause money wise. And I used to have a few things unserged because I honestly had no idea a serger even existed. So I was just like trying to just do things how I could and whatever I could. I mean, even right now, I'm still learning things like I've never known before. It's just like weird.
But in relation, you actually got to kind of realize a dream. You got to be in costume during E3.
Yeah. Oh my God, you have no idea how much of a dream that was to me. Like, I literally had dreams of it. And I used to like, and then I woke up and I was like, damn it, it's not a dream. I'm sorry, is damn it a bad word?
Oh, it's okay.
But yeah, like, no, really, it was really a huge achievement in my dream goal life. Like, one of my dreams was basically fulfilled. Um, it was a pretty difficult process because it's not just like walk in and do it. It had to go through, um, asking Nintendo and then, asking the board of E3 because basically what E3 says is what goes. Um, and so, when I was finally able to achieve that, um, with the other cosplayer, it was, you know, a really, really huge thing. Um, man, gosh, I feel like it never happened because it's just like so like, wow, did that really just happen, sort of thing.
So you really had to prepare for that like months in advance
Yeah,
to just see if you could do it.
Yeah, it was a huge preparation for it. And since then, I've made friends over at the industry and stuff, which is nice because, it's not just like, hey, can I do this? We actually like chat. It's nice to chat and stuff. And then seeing them again at like other events and stuff like that was really nice. But like, I, I went and I started fixing up my costume, perfecting it even more as much as I could because of that huge deal. I mean, and knowing Miyamoto's going to be there, I had to present him to him as perfectly as I could, the outfit and everything. Because I wanted him to, like, be honored mostly. Like, oh wow, someone dressing up as my character, thing. It wasn't just the whole fact of, like, just meeting him and being all fan over him and everything, but just, like, I wanted him to really see that I liked it and I really like your work, sort of thing. Um, And it was all about respect, really. I just really, wanted him to see that I truly respect his work. So,
It was probably really hard not to sort of be like, oh my god, right?
oh my gosh, no, it was hard. So freaking hard. And like, I wanted to I seriously had dreams all the time of like, oh man, if I get to meet him, where is he gonna sign my outfit? And I was like planning this out a long time in advance. So if it ever comes to the point, I wouldn't be all like, oh shoot, where should he sign? You know? So I came up with a few spots and I had him sign all of those spots. I was like, I'm not overdoing it.
Well, hopefully, you can keep those memories from that for a long time, and it's really neat that that just came out of like a hobby and a respect of a character.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a huge respect for the character. I really truly love the series. So being able to do that actually just more like brings a tear to my eye, because it's such a huge achievement, it's just a really huge thing.
Ever wonder what's going on in the anime world? Check out 918 The Fan every weekday for the newest iStock. We'll fill you in on everything you need to know in 3 minutes or less. Only on 918thefan.com. So tell me something. How did you get into conventioning and all that sort of stuff?
Like actually going to the cons,
Yes, like how did you find
like
out that there were things like that?
I actually, that's really weird how I found that out was after I found out what cosplay was, I didn't know conventions were. I didn't know they existed for cosplay. Basically, I thought people just dress up at home, take photos. That's it. I was on eBay and I looked and see if there was cosplay outfits there because I was so like, oh my god, cosplay? What is this? I looked it up everywhere and like in Google, and they brought up a bunch of eBay listings. Like how they sell the eBay cosplay costumes. So I looked it up, and I think it was like an Eternal Sailor Moon outfit that I saw, and inside the listing had a list of conventions, and I was like, what? Conventions really? So I looked up these conventions and I actually didn't know where else to look up the listing for them. So I just copy pasted out of that eBay listing. And that's what I was going from, trying to find the names of all these conventions and everything. And that's when I first heard about Anime Expo. I had no idea it was a big thing. And then I was like, oh, that'd be nice to go to. And then I saw Fanime and I was like, cool, Fanime. It's actually like an hour and 30 minutes away from here. I'd like to go to that. But I haven't actually been to a con. Probably, was it around 2003 was when I actually got to a con the first time. It was 2003 or 2002, something like that. I didn't start posting the pictures online until 2000 something. So my first cosplay event was, I think, 2004. No, 2003. Oh gosh, so many dates to remember. Um,
No, I understand, but
but
you originally said you were from Hungary. Did you have to travel, or did you already move to America?
oh, I was already here. We moved here in 1994 was when we moved here. But before that, I lived in Canada for like 11 years. Uh,
Oh, okay.
Canada. I like Canada. I miss it a lot. Not the snow, but I miss it. It was a really nice country. Like some of my pictures that I did of Link, some of the photo shoots were taken up in Canada. I also have some photo shoots that were taken in Hungary. Because we went to visit because my family's there. So we visited, and I was like, well, I'm taking the costume with me. So I took pictures there, and that's when I took pictures of with the horse Epona,
Well, that's pretty
which I
like
missed very.
an opportune spot to, take pictures and get some really good photography to show off your work.
I do a lot of scouting, but those pictures that those were taken from, those were places I grew up. Like the mountain range where the Link photo was taken. I could like link it to you or something later on. Let me see if I can even find it. But that one was taken in a mountain range near Jasper National Park. And I grew up there. Like we go camping almost every weekend in Canada. And that's a spot that we always camped at, that location. And it was actually a hidden location it wasn't even like a public campground or anything. It was just a secret hidden location that took a tiny little path from the main road. And that was our location. And we went up to Canada. I was like, I have to go take photos at that location because that was great. And then,
Well, we will definitely link to that, after the interview as well. As long as you give us the link, we'll post that up right on the site.
Definitely, I'll give it to you guys. I had to go find it myself as well. There it is. And so, the places in Hungary, those were located close to my uncle's house. What's funny is like I never got around to posting pictures yet, but my uncle lives in a house that looks just like Lon Lon Ranch. It's funny, but his house looks just like them, like the buildings from Lon Lon Ranch. He has chickens and all that, and he's just out in the middle of nowhere. And that's where I took pictures out in that area. That's where I took pictures with me and Epona, which looked a lot like Hyrule Field. It's just great. I really enjoy going to Hungary to doing these photos because it's just so original over there. They're so far behind in technology, kind of, which makes me sad because I go there and I'm like, everything's so different.
No computers!
Well, they do have computers, but it's really hard to get them. They're expensive.
Right.
And so, everything's expensive there. It's kind of like difficult. I'm just like, wow, I don't know how you guys live. I mean, well, I do know I used to live there, but it's just moving to a country that has so much more technology. It's a mind-blowing thing when you go back, But, that's how I knew of all these locations. And I'm still scouting for locations. Like every time I go somewhere, I scout for locations. We go camping so much times. That was fail English right there. So many times. and I see all these locations then. And so that helps a lot.
So now that you've done Link for so long and you're kind of starting to cosplay from what I can see, on the internet, what you've posted, do you think you'll sort of expand to different territories or will you always come back to Link?
I am working on a Link costume right now. I am never leaving it. Like, really. I noticed that. I was like, oh man, I feel like I'm kind of drifting away. That mustn't happen. Pulls out new fabric, makes another Link costume. But I'll always do Link costumes. As often as a new Link comes out, a new game comes out, I'm always going to be making the costume. My current study project that I'm doing is the new Link from the new Zelda Wii game. No pictures yet, but I'm seriously like on the mark, waiting for the new pictures and trying to figure out exactly what's going on with them. Because same with my Twilight Princess Link. My outfit was designed after the first trailer that ever came out, the first screenshots that ever came out. That's where I based everything off. I'm never over the whole deal of like, I have to be first. It's just, I guess, just the whole thing of like, oh my god, new Link, have to make it, It's
just
sort of
something that kind of drives you then.
Yeah, it really does. So I'm waiting for those to come out. But in the meantime, if nothing comes out, I go back to working on what I haven't done yet, or trying to go out and take photo shoots of something that I had finished a long time ago, which I have so much stuff for. I just never gone out to take photo shoots. And then I also come up with a lot of original ideas. Like there's a few Link ideas I'm currently brainstorming over. I'm trying to work on a few original outfits for him too. Trying to give him that whole realistic feel of, of if Link were real, what would it look like? Sort of like his outfit. Something more practical as much as it could. I'm contemplating different ideas like partial armor or what, it's just drafting basis still.
Do you think that you'll update your website or your Twitter so we're aware of what's coming next, or will that kind of be on the back burner?
Oh, I'll definitely update. I usually don't post what I'm working on because I feel it creates a stress level for me. Like people are expecting it, and it creates a stress level, and then it feels like I'm rushing it. So usually I don't say what I'm working on, but sometimes I do say because then I feel like I'm making myself a deadline, which helps me finish it. So occasionally I might give hints or say I'm working on something new, and then that'll kind of be my deadline. But whenever I do have a new link or anything like that, I will post it like as soon as I can. I'm trying to get this one right now finished so I could possibly go out and do photo shoots before school starts up again, which will be on the 1st. And there'll be a convention at the end of this month called Anime Overdose, or they changed it to Anime on Display, actually. I'm going to be trying to get it done to wear there. So, we'll see.
Well, hopefully, we can catch you at maybe a convention and see you there. Do you have any conventions planned for 2010 besides that one?
Yes, I do. I don't believe I posted the convention list on my website yet. I did post it on cosplayers.com though. They are the convention coverage site I do work for, which is also run by my father. The whole convention schedule is listed up there, but I still gotta put the schedule in my actual website too, which would probably be a good thing to do. Maybe today. Because thanks for reminding me.
No problem.
I do need to update my website. It's so much easier to update now, but I've actually had a little issues logging in with my FTP, so that kind of caused little problems.
Oh, I see. 91.8 The Fan, home of Kana's Korner, the #1 live anime radio talk show. Interviews, guests, contests, and more. Don't miss your favorite voice actors, celebrities, and all your other favorites. Only on Kana's Korner. Weekdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, you said that your father helps you with a lot of the costumes?
He helps me with the props. He doesn't know how to sew, so I do all the sewing, but I do ask him for advice. I'm like, which one do you think looks better? If it's like this or like this, Like I ask him for advice and opinion, but he doesn't know how to sew at all. I know some people actually were saying things like, "Oh, my dad makes all my costumes," and I'm like, he doesn't know how to sew though. So, he helps me with the props. He does the bases for me, because he's a very protective father. So he's like, "This is my lathe machine. You can't touch it." I'm like, "Okay, fine. You can do it."
Well, luckily he's supportive. I've heard a few horror stories about that.
He has all the machinery, so he doesn't really let me near them. But I'm just like, "Dad, I took shop class. I worked with these kinds of machines before you even owned them." So, but he's just paranoid, I guess, if something I accidentally cut off my finger or something. I don't know. But, I have used the machines, but I guess he also finds a little joy in them himself, of being productive, of being able to work on something. So he makes the base shape for me. The shields the base of the shields are made by me. I formed them in the shapes, and then he coats them with the fiberglass, because actually I have asthma, like terribly, terribly bad asthma.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear
And
that.
the fiberglass, actually makes my breathing really super bad, regardless of if I'm wearing a mask or not. So I'm basically banned from using fiberglass myself, but I still used it. As much as I shouldn't, I still used it, and then I get sick for a little bit, but I get over it. And then so he covers them, and then basically all the detail work, everything you see on the surface is my work. I do all the designing, the detailing. He helps sometimes with the painting, depending on the breathing, because it really disturbs me too. But I usually do a lot of my painting myself. But he used to have an auto body shop, so technically I trust him better with painting because he can get that really super smooth surface, and not have any paint running or anything. So usually I trust him with that. But sometimes when I'm very particular of how things should be painted, I do it myself.
I can
But yeah,
understand that.
but the actual construction, like the details, all that, that's all my work. I'm just a perfectionist detail freak. It's just, as much as I know, as much as I think someone knows what I want, I don't think they know what I want, so it's kind of like, I feel better if it's in my hands.
Well, you can take a lot of pride in your work that way too, I'm sure.
No, that has a lot to do with it too. I mean, it just feels good when you do things yourself, because it's like, you feel very accomplished. Like my Twilight Princess Link shield, I was spending, that was a nonstop, project to get that painted and everything. And I was seriously up all night. I didn't even go to bed. I was up all night in the living room, putting the details on, painting it, weathering it, everything. And I was up from morning till 8 the next morning, just working on it nonstop. And then 2 hours later, I had to pack and go to Fanime.
Well, hopefully we'll
And then
see
I was
you at Fanime because we're going this year.
oh, awesome. I'll definitely be there. I'm actually debuting, hopefully, one of the new costumes there from a game series, that hasn't been released yet. And I know usually that's like, why are you cosplaying something that's not out yet? But honestly, I've been up to date with this character and the series ever since it's been first announced, which was probably 2-3 years ago. And I'm constantly reading up on the characters. I'm constantly just reading up on the whole progress of the game. And I have a lot of friends who've already played it because they work for gaming industries or something. And so I get a lot of the inside stuff from them too.
I'm jealous.
Huh?
But hopefully
But
we'll
hopefully get
bug you.
oh, no, seriously, come and say hi. I don't bite at all, you know?
Well, as long as you don't mind our camera people, that's the only thing you'll have to fear.
No, I don't mind at all.
Well, is there any other way that, say, our fans and everybody else can sort of stalk you?
Any other way, they could stalk me on my website, which is PikminLink.com. And today, actually, this morning at my clock is wrong on the website, so ignore that. This morning, I updated a bunch of the social networking sites that I'm a part of, which would be DeviantArt, Facebook, Flickr, YouTube, and Twitter. I did make a MySpace account years ago, but I don't like MySpace. So
I don't think anybody uses MySpace anymore. That's sort of been like the overall factor.
And so my MySpace account is kind of floating off into space. It's been ignored. But everything else that I listed on my site is where I could be found. So.
All right, and before we let you go, because I have to ask this, it's sort of a tradition on 918 The Fan, we were wondering if you'd be willing to do a bump for us.
Sure.
Now, we know you're not professionally trained as a voice actor, so I'll type it out for you, but we were wondering if you could say, as soon as I'm typing in the right box, my name is, I do this, and yay, loud typing. But my name is, I do cosplay, whatever it is you want to mention, and you're tuned in to 918 The Fan.
Okay. All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, my name's PikminLink. I cosplay Link mostly because I'm a huge Zelda nerd, and you're tuned into 91.8 The Fan.
Thank you so much, and we appreciate you being on the show.
All right, thank you.